I hope you guys like a good story because this one is crazy. Guys, I got an amazing story to tell you, but before we continue, if you're not subscribed yet, we've been giving away blasters every time we double our subscribers. Our next giveaway is at 4,000 subs. I'm planning something really special that you're not gonna miss for that giveaway. And it's not just gonna be one blaster. It's not gonna just be one winner. So hit that subscribe button, like and share this video so many more people will be able to see videos like this, be notified about videos like this, and also have the opportunity to win an amazing free blaster. Also, if you stick around to the end of the video, I got a huge special announcement that I would love it if you guys were part of. More details on that towards the end of the video. You guys know me, I might touch and go on the 3D print topic a little bit, mainly when comparing to other blasters of modern day, but this channel is obviously far from anything strictly 3D print or strictly hardcore hobby. I would consider this more of a mainline advice, repair and maintenance, and modification channel, along with new product reviews for the average to competitive foam flinger. However, that does not mean that these things don't fascinate me. I completely admire the design and creativity of these 3D print designers. I've become really good friends with a lot of them in the recent time that this channel has been up on YouTube. I've been aware of the Gryphon's existence. I always thought it was really cool. Obviously a little bit outside of the average foam flinger's budget, including myself, if I'm being 100% honest. I definitely consider these high-grade hobby blasters to be the upper echelon of foam flinging. If you guys have access to these kind of tools, you're definitely playing in the high FPS, super PvP competitive matches. I have to first find said matches in my area, and then I can start talking about if I want to delve deeply into these blasters or not. However, like I said, I've always been fascinated by the Gryphon. I like its horizontal orientation of its motors. I like the form factor. I held one a long time ago. A friend of mine had one in Orlando, and I thought the ergonomics were just incredible. However, what really brought me over the edge, if you guys remember on this episode of PNNN News, they announced a Gryphon variation called the Stapler by Captain Slug, the inventor of the renowned and famous high-power Caliburn blaster. When I saw this design, this immediately became my dream blaster. I mentioned it in many videos, but my playstyle is dump pouch and hopper versus replaceable mag. Of course, I'll play whatever I have, but that is my ultimate go-to playstyle if I have complete choice over my loadout. I also like full-length darts, as many of you have come to know by watching my videos. So when I saw this Gryphon, I just knew that one day I was gonna own it. Fast forward to this year, in February, I was on a live stream with Maritime Foam called Friday Night Foam. Now, I had heard about the 3D designer PaperSkeletons on and off in the hobby space, but I never really got to know him. It was in this live stream where Maritime showcased one of PaperSkeletons' 3D printed accessories. I think it was a 3-dart carrier and Mega XL launcher for the pilot, where I was able to chat with him a little bit, talk to him, and then therefore the rest is pretty much history. We got to know each other. I eventually did this review with PaperSkeleton 3D parts on my Fire Phoenix pistol blaster. And then one day I just nonchalantly happened to ask him, hey, have you ever thought about printing a complete blaster? And if so, what are your thoughts about it? We bounced the idea back and forth, and then we decided we would go ahead and try it. The agreement was I would provide as many materials as I could and sponsor the materials for the blaster itself, and PaperSkeletons would go ahead and print a prototype, which is the one that he owns today, and my own very customized Gryphon stapler blaster. Now, I was very excited about this idea because until now I had not spoken to anybody who had not only the time, but also the resources to be able to take on this project, especially someone who had never printed a blaster before. Now, I've seen Adam's work, I've seen the quality of his print, so I didn't have much doubts. Besides, I figured, what do I have to lose? I'm paying for materials. This guy's taking the time to use his machines, his time and resources to print this. The worst that can happen is we learn from it and we do better next time. However, I was completely blown away. Adam did a fantastic job. This is an incredible little blaster, guys. I can't wait to show you what it does. There's also a really cool story on the battery. And as I mentioned earlier, if you guys stick around to the end of the video, I got a huge special announcement you guys will be glad you didn't miss. But first, let's take it back 1 week to when I received this blaster and it did not have a battery. I'm gonna take you briefly through that build process, and then we're gonna do some testing, some final thoughts, including that big special announcement I told you guys about. All right, guys, I intentionally told Adam at PaperSkeletons to not put a connector on these. You guys know I use my own proprietary connectors that I have tons of, so no reason for me to go out and buy XT30s or XT60s. And I also intentionally told them do not put a power supply in it. I have tons, I probably have thousands of batteries of these. Absolutely no need. I enjoy building my own batteries. I like building different kind of power supplies for different blasters. It allows me to continue this ongoing research of what works best for me to bring you guys that information in return. Today we're gonna go with Samsung ICR 18650-30A. These are 30 amp discharge batteries. I recently had to replace the battery pack on our 4-year-old Shark Ion robot vacuum. Turns out only one of the 4 cells on the 4S battery pack was bad on the old battery pack, so I ended up salvaging 3 cells. I was perfectly able to use 2 of those for the 2S battery pack that we're gonna make today. We're gonna run them in the 2S configuration, meaning they're serialized. Now, Adam did include an extended battery cover, which allows us to run a larger battery, perhaps even a nickel metal hydride option, 3S for sure. I thought for a compact pistol blaster like this one that shoots standard length darts, this high output 2S should get us optimal performance for what this blaster was set out to do. So without further ado, I'm gonna get to building this battery pack. We got our balance connector ready to go. We got our main connector ready to go. Got our little heat shrink and our tape. Let's get to it, guys. All right, guys, our battery building is complete. We have our 2S Li-ion 7.4 volt battery pack. This one's reading 8.9 volts at full charge, running a little hot there. Just gonna do a test rev just to make sure everything works. Oh yeah, that is a really nice RPM. Now we're just gonna do an ejection test, just make sure the battery polarity is correct. I've gotten it wrong before. Sometimes the way the blasters are wired, the black wire is the hot wire, so we're just gonna find out if indeed it's wired correctly. Oh my God! Woo! Thank God I'm wearing some eye protection, guys. All right, it's time. It's time to take this to the mini range and see what this baby can do. Let's get it. All right, guys, just to confirm, I did shorten the Gryphon's main battery harness a little bit just to make sure that these connectors can sit in here really nice with this 2S Li-ion. Indeed, it does. I'm gonna find our battery lid. There's our battery lid. All right, hook it on from this side, and then we're just gonna go ahead and fully secure it. Our blaster ready to go. Time for a little range action. Let's get it, guys. All right, guys, so the way you load the stapler is pretty straightforward. You pull down this little latch, and then with your index or your middle finger, you push on this button down here, which will release the mechanism for the loading bay. You're gonna stack 9 rounds vertically inside this feeder assembly. I'm gonna go with Dart Zone Chilies for this round. And then to close it, you just pretty much bring it over, and these magnets are gonna secure this door. Now you're just gonna proceed to operate it just like any standard flywheeler. You're gonna rev using the rev switch and fire using the firing trigger. Let's get some grouping shots, guys. The cool thing about the stapler and any Gryphon I can imagine is this entire top rail here. You can mount your own sights, you can mount a hollow sight, a scope, anything that suits your play style. Let's do some plinking, guys. As you guys were able to see, 3D printed blasters are special for a reason. You can see the efforts and the time they put into the blaster. You can see the maintenance they put in to keep their printers working top notch with these nice seamless cuts, this beautiful PETG filament. Now, I did ask Adam to send me the frame in black. I thought the black would also pop well with this teal. I'd like to have a dual color style for this blaster, and I also like to have a spare frame in case anything does happen. Now, PETG is impact resistant as opposed to PLA, which we did not use because I live down in Florida and the temperatures can get really hot down here. PLA starts to get kind of mushy in some high temperatures, which we do see down here in Florida and parts of Texas. PETG is the way to go for impact resistance and high heat climates, guys. All in all, this is indeed my dream blaster. I mean, the full length darts, 130 feet per second firing on a 2S Li-ion battery. The battery performs fantastic, just like it did in our little Ion robot. I couldn't be happier. But I did promise you guys a special announcement. Now, I made sure not to tell her anything, so she finds out by watching this video and by watching this very moment. But I had another blaster made for Ms. Not Enough. complete with the Miss Triple N right here. Now, Adam did put my badge on my blaster, and to my surprise, which I just found out on Instagram. By the way, if you don't follow us on Instagram, we have a lot of really cool things we post on there that we do not post on YouTube. At Not Enough Nerf. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, guys. To my surprise, Adam also put the Triple N on his blaster to honor our collaboration in this project, the first full electronic blaster built by PaperSkeletons. I'm extremely proud to be a part of this, guys. It's not every day that you meet somebody in the hobby that's willing to not only work, but willing to fulfill someone else's dreams. And I can say that this, in a miniature scale, was my blaster dream project. Thank you, PaperSkeletons. If you guys have any ideas of things that you've seen that you want PaperSkeletons to build, he's extremely reasonable with his pricing. Obviously, his time and resources is something you have to consider. The guy does have a family and a full-time job, so always bear that in mind when contacting him. PaperSkeleton makes everything from custom parts and mods for blasters to, as we can see now, full blasters. We were brainstorming the other night and we got carried away, and he was even talking about a different kind of caliber stapler. I told him Mega XL all day. She's gonna be Prego in this area, but it's gonna be fun to fire. He said that he would actually try to find the time to design it. Fantastic guy. Follow him on Instagram, PaperSkeletons 3D. Great guy and fellow foam flinger. Amazing 3D designer. I can't wait for what the future holds and what else we can come up with and what else we can work on together. If you enjoyed this video, you're definitely gonna like this one. I'll catch you on the next one. Stay blasting, foam fam.